Traders, 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 traders. Well, what a big week we had last week. I mean, where do I start? Let's just start off with the Fed. I think that's the most important thing. No, sorry. Let's just start. Even most importantly, is it inflation or deflation, guys? That is the question of questions, isn't it? That's what everyone seems to want to know. That's what the main topic of conversation is, guys. And right now, what we're seeing is, I think we're seeing the reflation trade topping out. I think the whole reflation trade from March all the way down till here, the whole reflation trade down to now, pretty much end of May, beginning of June, is finished. I think right now we are going to see the other end of that, which is the deflation trade. Now, before I really go into too much about this, I want to go into the Fed meeting, because this was the catalyst. This was the catalyst for the change in itself. Now, let's talk about it. So what Mr. Powell had to say basically was the main three things. We'll keep interest rates the same, 0.25, between zero. We're looking for 2 rate hikes in 2023, which he did speak up before. And we'll continue to be purchasing $120 billion in assets every month. Now, as you're obviously thinking, which I thought exactly the same thing, well, this will be spoken about. This has been priced in, and you're 100% right. You are 100% right. This is already priced in. The hawkish side of this was the dot plan. Let me bring up to you this dot plan. Now, you can see here, it basically shows that 4 Fed officials are now seeking hikes between 2022 and 2023. Before, this was just 2023, and there was only about 2 or 3 officials, guys. So I know that might sound like much, but you've got to remember, this market is just looking for optimism, looking for hope. Now, with this being said, guys, the Fed are looking for a 50 bias point hike. And as you can see, that the massive chunk of the committee members are completely in agree. Well, not completely in agree, guys, but in a lot more of an agree than prior, that they're looking for a 2023 rate hike, if not a 2022. To be honest, guys, it's probably not going to happen by 2023, but this is just how the market is going to see it. I'm just basing it on what the market is going to view, guys. I don't really believe much of what the Fed says, to be honest with you. Not in the slightest. I'm just viewing on what I can see. And now, if the Fed say this, the market will read this. I'm not going to ignore what the Fed says. This is relatively hawkish. So I'm going to view what the market is going to tell us after this meeting. Whether or not I regard it, whether or not believe it or not, it's an unbiased opinion. That's what we need to have when we're trading, guys, an unbiased opinion. Now, it doesn't actually state which members were voting or non-voting, which can play a slightly high part in this, but it's early enough to what the market wants to see, as I just said. Now, the fact that Powell stated in the press conference that he's talking about tapering, which is a lot more hawkish than previous meeting, guys. Basically, tapering is they're going to slow down asset purchasing, basically slowing. They're thinking about taking the foot off the gas, basically, guys, and that is very bullish for dollar. Very, very bullish dollar, which is what we've pretty much seen. So, as from the back of this, guys, we saw the dollar gained crazy strength. Let's just have a look at this. The dollar gained substantial strength. Substantial. And to be honest, guys, we've been talking about this. We knew this was going to happen. But of course, we didn't know what the Fed was saying, but the Fed was the catalyst for this move to happen, guys. Yeah? The Fed was the catalyst. But also, you must remember, this dollar short position that I was talking about a couple of months ago, the dollar short position was almost 100% net short. This has been one of the most overcrowded positions ever, because everyone's shouting out inflation, the dollar's going to die, death of the dollar, all this bollocks I've been talking about for ages. It's not going to happen. Oh, no, sorry. It's not that it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen yet, guys. It's not going to happen yet. It's not going to happen yet. I don't think there'll be ever death of the dollar, but I do agree in the future the dollar will devalue. But inflation isn't here next, guys. Deflation come before inflation, as I said to you multiple times. So that is what instantly happened from the Fed meeting on the dollar side. Now let's have a look at the Fed meeting on the S&P 500. We had the initial drop there. Look at that position. Extremely unlucky. It doesn't matter regardless anyway. But we had this big drop here, which the dip got bought. I'm still not too keen with this. I'm still relatively bearish to the stock market, relatively bearish. But you remember tapering talks is bearish, and also the unwinding, because people, when this sort of move when this sort of move happens, people start to hedge. They start to hedge other assets, probably including the dollar. So this position will start to get unwinded. So not too confident on the S&P. Well, I'm still pretty confident S&P 500 will roll over, but we've had a big pullback, which I would have expected, guys. I would have expected. Now, I will show you gold. Gold just got absolutely obliterated, guys. Absolutely obliterated. As we call this phrase. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about the corded side. But dollar got absolutely obliterated. Do you know why? Because this is it's deflation. It's deflationary. It's just the unwinding of the inflationary trade, guys. Sort of the reflation trade. You must remember that. It's the unwinding of the re-inflation trade, which is deflation. Now. With this in mind, guys, with this move in the dollar, this could easily fuel a big risk-off move. Let's have a look at the yen future. You know, I like to have a look at the yen future. Well, I really like the yen futures. We're a bit stagnant. To me, I think we bottomed out on US and on the yen futures, guys. I can see a big move up. Now, go back to my main point of the video: inflation or deflation. Now, I think personally deflation, and I can see the market. But the question, it doesn't matter what I think. It is what's next. Now, as I spoke to you about in previous videos, to me, the biggest eye opener for me was the fact when Bitcoin started to go down, and this was now. This is April, guys. Sorry, the big move was in the beginning of May. Now, the reason why this was so important, guys, is when you see the biggest yielding asset drop like this. I know crypto is volatile. I understand that. But when you see that happen, there's something not right in the market. There's be a shift in bias. And the problem was nothing happened either way, even though the correlation between BTC or JPY and all the stock market was very correlated. But BTC and crypto were always ahead of the curve. Now, for me, when that drops off first, that's telling me the rest goes drop off. Just give it time. And lo and behold, we've sort of had it, guys. We've had this first initial drop. We've seen the first move up, which we predicted, or we've spoken on this. I'm not really going to go over again because in pre-preview, I'm not going to go over again. The question is what's next? Now, something I want to point out to you guys, which I don't really show very well. I want to show the other commodity charts, which shows the reinflation trade wind down. Let's look at lumber. We've seen that start to wind off. I don't. To be honest, no, this isn't the right chart. This is not the right chart. Let's look at the Yamba future. No. For example, when it goes something. Lumber. Where are you? Anyway, guys, I can't find it. It's brave, for example. Anyway, let's find a copper. Let's find a copper. Copper futures. That big old dirty. This has been the copper gained a ridiculous amount. Another commodity. Crazy amount. Over doubled. And now you can see the big dip off. It was similar to what happened in crypto. You can see this. These high yielding, these commodity assets, these inflationary assets are starting to drop off. Gold was the same. Let's look at palladium. Let's look at all the other metals. Start to drop off here, guys. This is a platinum. Sorry, not palladium. I apologize. Another inflationary trade. The only other inflation trade which hasn't really seen is oil, but oil is going to be a kind of different kettle of fish, guys. So I'm normally basing my inflation trade on oil because oil's completely different. Oil runs the show. Oil is completely different. I'm not going to go into today because there's a lot to go on about it, but oil runs the show. But let's look at emerging markets. I'm going to do the ZAR reverse so we can see the ZAR come. Look, the same. The reflation trade. It's all coming off. Everything's coming off, guys. Everything is coming off. This is an emergency. This South African rand against US dollar. Normally it's the other way around. I'm showing you this way around just to show you how much these inflationary assets are coming off. Now, with yields, another even better point that I want to show to you. Even better point that I'd like to show. Just make sure I'm recording. I do this every time, guys. I always get worried. But let's look at the 10-year yield. 10-year trade. This is the bond market doesn't lie. Yeah, the bond market doesn't lie. This triangle was a bit exaggerated, but I'm just trying to point to you where I think that direction's going. We had reinflation from here. So, all right, no, sorry, before I even go into this, how do the bond yields go up? They go up in two ways, risk or inflation. Yeah. It looks like risk and both inflation are bottoming out. Sorry, are topping out, guys. We're getting lower lows and lower highs, guys. We are going to see the yield market come down. I was talking about a range before. I was talking about the bond yield market ranging before. But now, for what I've seen, I've changed my opinion. And I think we're going to start dropping. Because my opinion was the yields, if you see my previous videos, was we're going to range until we drop to the downside. Now, I can't even see the range anymore, guys. I think we are going to be dropping to the downside. And you'll ask why we're topped out. Because inflation has been priced in for years. Guys, the inflation, how much have you heard inflation? The Fed's printing this, the Fed's printing that. Oh, we're going to be hyperinflation. It's all over the social media. It's all over the news. It's everywhere. It's publicized like anything. And normally when things are publicized, you do the complete opposite. And now is the time to be doing that, guys. The inflation trade, the unwinding of the reflation is happening. It's unwinding now. We're going to see deflation. Now, how long it's going to go on for? I don't know. I do not know. But I want to come back to the dollar chart. I want to come back to the dollar chart because this is very important to me. Let's get on the monthly. Let's talk about this really. If we're talking about, let's talk about real length. Let's go over all these charts on the monthly because this is the big unwinding of the reflation trade, yeah? Now, the month candle closes. We got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days, yeah? Now, let's just talk about this here. I'm going to tell you, I don't really believe in trend lines. I just use trend lines to see where retail traders are trading. That's the only reason why I use trend lines. I don't really like them. To me, they don't prove anything. We're stuck in a bit of a range here, guys. The bottom's in, and we're stuck in a bit of a range here. This is my range. Can we get back up to the hundreds? I can't see why fucking not. Tell me why. Tell me why we can't get up to this sort of reason. My first target, guys, is going to be when we breach the highs here. It's got a lovely candle. This candle here very much interests me. So I want a nice. This candle is beautiful. This candle is very, very interesting here. So I want 50. I would like a 50% equal value of this, a fair value of this. Let's get the fib out. Because this area needs to be mitigated, in my opinion. So let's get the fib out. Let's make this fair. Oh, we're on 95.6. That's my first target. That is my first target. Now, if this target is broken, guys, we can come up to 100. Of course we can. I don't know if we will, because I still really do believe there is some inflation. But right now, the money is being used. The money in print has been used. The US have upped their swap lines, which means they can give money out elsewhere. They've upped their dollar swap lines, which means all their debt, all their inflation can get distributed to other countries, so other countries can get inflated. Most remember, guys, this is a race to the bottom. Every country's doing this. Every country's doing exactly the same. It's just who is inflated more. Every country's inflated to absolute fuck. Every currency is. Of course it is. Every fucking currency is. It's just who is most inflated, guys. And right now, this reflation is getting unwinded and it's getting distributed to elsewhere. Look at that on a technical analysis point of view. You telling me if this is the reversal? If we see in the bottom here, why the hell can't we go? Why can't we get back up to here? Or why can't we break the highs? Oh, now that would scare everyone, wouldn't it? Because a strong dollar is treacherous to the emerging markets, guys. It's absolutely treacherous. Back on charge, apologize, guys. Because all debt is in dollars. So if the value of dollar goes up, the debt's just going to get higher, and they can't afford to pay their debts. Most of them, most of their GDPs is they can never pay anyway. Most of these countries that they can never ever repay ever. If we see a wrecking ball dollar, a deflationary dollar going up to the high, we will see emerging markets. We will see emerging markets absolutely die. Any heavily debted economy will get absolutely busted. We will see the emerging markets come up somewhere like here. We'll see it come break the highs if we see a wrecking ball dollar. Where else we point out some more inflation? Let's have a look on a monthly chart or even a weekly chart on some other pairs, guys, just to show you guys how likely this reflation trade is. Look, we broke the highs here, grabbed a bit of liquidity here before coming down. Guys, we had JP1 come down to 84.5. That's not even being unfair. That's just me being, that's just a standard pullback in the reflation. We're looking for a reflation unwind. Yeah. Let's just count 50% of our reflationary wind, yeah? What, fair value? That's down to 82. Let's do the same with all JPY. Let's just count 50% of our unwind. That's back down to 72. Let's count that on pounds. Look at that, guys. Look at that. It's the FX. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, guys. And I don't know how long this is going to last for, but I'm going to continue on to following this narrative, which is the deflationary narrative, which is pretty much a risk-off narrative. I don't know how long it's going to last for, guys. I do not know. I don't know, but there's been a change in bias. I've been talking about it for months. The Fed has given us the catalyst for this for this change in bias, and now we are witnessing it, guys. So the smart thing to do is stay on the right side of it, guys. Stay on the right side. I'm going to be bringing out some more videos in some depth of deflation and inflation as well, but this is going to be my part one. So I hope this will help, guys. And yeah, the change in bias, I think, has finally come. So trade safe and follow your rules, and don't forget the trader's bias now. This is my personal opinion, guys. I'm showing you what I can see. I don't expect you to follow me, guys, but I expect you to have a look into what I'm showing you and have a look for yourself. Even China, I've got the chart here. Even China, they've taken out half of their credit. They're unleveraging. Why? You want to ask yourself why, guys. There's a lot happening behind closed doors. You want to ask yourself why. The unwinding stage is happening, guys. The unwinding is happening, guys. So safe trading, guys, and I'll be back.